Well, Monty Python, absolute legends John Cleese, has said that the Life of Brian scene won't be cut despite modern sensibilities. Now, this is for like a musical, essentially. Now, the scene in question is hilarious and thought-provoking and interesting and highly relevant. And it's all about, well, my name's Loretta. You know, I've changed my gender straight away. I'm a woman. You can't be a woman. Oh, I want to have a kid. I can have a kid. No, you can't because you don't have a womb. All this kind of stuff. It's very, very good scene. I don't know if I can actually show it, to be fair. So I'll leave it linked down below. I don't want to risk showing it and angering the YouTube gods. But it's a brilliant scene. Monty Python have always been ahead of their time. I remember when they released The Holy Grail. And the church came out and went absolutely mad. Like, genuinely mad. And they didn't back down. They've never bowed to the mob. And, I mean, this is why it stood the test of time. Because it's thought-provoking, it's funny. It wasn't necessarily topical at the time. But, you know, they were ahead of their time on so many levels. And The Life of Brian's absolute gold. Really, 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 really funny. Very, very funny. So, John Cleese, you know, this guy's a boss anyway. He could not care less about anything these days, and I love it when these people come out and it's just like, yeah, I literally couldn't care less. And it sticks that kind of two middle fingers up to everyone, because so many people keep bowing to things, and he's like, no, why should I? No. And why should you? Just what? Because it upsets a few people's feelings? It doesn't matter. Living, like, honestly, there's such a sense of entitlement these days. You're not entitled to your feelings never getting hurt. Remember that. Okay? That's a life lesson. You are not entitled to your feelings never getting hurt. So the Monty Python crew always looked on the bright side of life. Anyway, when it came to its classic film parody Life of Brian. But Monty Python star John Cleese insists he never said that he would remove a politically incorrect scene from a stage adaptation of Life of Brian, even though the film's 1979 sensibilities will not draw quite the laughs it once did, owing to the rise of trans issues awareness. No, I actually think it will. I mean, recently, Ricky Gervais has become like one of the record breaker for a show, earning the highest amount ever for a show. Just crazy, crazy, crazy numbers. Millions and millions and millions of dollars. So in terms of saying that it won't draw quite as many laughs as it once did, yes it will. It's highly topical. In fact, the fact that it's so topical will make it even funnier, because this stuff needs to be ridiculed in the court of public opinion. You need to make light of some of these things, because some of these things are nonsensical and they are funny. So yeah, I highly disagree saying it will not draw quite as many laughs as it once did. Yes, it absolutely will. Cleese claims it was misreported that he was planning to cut the Loretta scene for an upcoming stage adaptation of the religious satire film. Instead, he said he has no intention of removing it. Good. Absolutely good. Now, the scene in question, I'll sort of replay it for you anyway, features a male character declaring that he wants to be a woman named Loretta and wants to have a child. Cleese's character tells the man that the notion is ridiculous, while another suggests that they all advocate for his right to childbearing. Highly topical. I want to be a woman. It's my right as a man, the character claims. I want to have babies. It's every man's right to have babies if he wants them. After Cleese's protest, the character snaps, "Don't you oppress me." Oh, I love it. Anyway, obviously, times have changed the impact of that hit. You know it hasn't. It's still absolutely hilarious. So Cleese was reported to have asked American actors at a read-through whether the Loretta scene should be dropped, and he was allegedly told that the joke was no longer a fit in these times. Absolutely it is, even more so. So here you have something that's never been a complaint about in 40 years, that I've heard of, and now all of a sudden we can't do it because it'll offend people. What is one supposed to make of that? Cleese said in a tweet that his comments were meant to relate what he was advised, not that he would actually do the cut. Good. A few days ago, I spoke to an audience outside London. I told them I was adapting The Life of Brian so that we could do it as a stage show, not a musical. I said that we'd had a table reading of the latest draft in New York City a year ago, and that all the actors, several of them Tony winners, who the fuck cares what that is, had advised me strongly to cut the Loretta scene. I have, of course, no intention of doing so. Good. The thing about this is, right, topical humour is the best humour. Having something which pokes fun at everyday life is funny. I mean, Ricky Gervais, you know, his humour, he came out and did the Supernatural, I think it was, the show, and absolutely just tore through everything. You know, and he gets labelled a bigot and a transphobe and all this kind of stuff. You're not doing that. You're mocking the extreme element of the mentality behind it. The element of the mentality that removes all facets of logic from the equation. So the Loretta scene, for instance, pokes fun. And again, it was way ahead of its time. But nowadays it's even more relevant because it pokes fun at the notion that just because, you know, you say you are, you unequivocally are, whatever gender you say you are, and as such, you have the right to have a child. Removing all facets of logic from the equation, you know. And normal people who are saying going through such a turbulent time in their life where, you know, they're trans, for instance, a normal individual that's not an activist will happily say, no, of course I can't have a child. Like, I'm not an idiot. Of course I can't. And so this pokes fun not at the majority, but at the minority. And unfortunately, you know, sort of pulling that from the equation allows the minority to then grow and grow and grow and swell. And then that's the only voice in the room, which I think is a shame. So I'm really, really glad that it's not being cut. It's a hilarious scene. Absolutely it shouldn't be cut. You know, I'm only saddened that I couldn't do it justice, really, because I don't want to piss off the YouTube gods. But it's super, super funny. You know, it's my right. Don't oppress me. It's my right as a man to bear a child. You can't because you don't have a womb. Obviously. It's that obvious element of sort of everyday logic that is seemingly just gone from any discussion these days. So I'm really glad. It's hilarious that, you know, John Cleese even pointed out that the Tony winners. Who the fuck cares that the Tony winners? No one cares. It's just super, super funny. And good on you as well, John. Not bound to the mob. He never has. I don't think he ever will. And this stuff stays relevant for a reason. You know? It should never be changed. This stuff should never be changed. It's genuinely funny. So now I thought I'd report on this because, again, I mean, Monty Python. British. I'm British. Love a bit of Monty Python. Love a bit of Fawlty Towers. Always good. Anyway, let me know what you think down below. Cheers, guys. Take care.